Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to the News at 5 on Channels Television. I'm Joke Rogers. Here are the news and reports we're tracking for you at this hour. The PDP Interim National Working Committee, led by Taminu Turaki, has submitted the name of former President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan as the party's presidential candidate for the 2027 general election. Addressing journalists in Abuja, the group's National Publicity Secretary, Ini Ememobong, says the nomination was submitted manually after the Independent National Electoral Commission allegedly denied the committee access to the portal for uploading candidates' details.
We are pleased to announce that notwithstanding INEC's refusal to provide us with the necessary access codes, the codes, of course, is an administrative convenience rather than a legal requirement. We have successfully submitted manually and in full compliance with the Electoral Act 2026 the entirety of the list of candidates sponsored by the Authentic People's Democratic Party. This submission, containing the names of our presidential candidate, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, as well as all governorship and National Assembly and National and State Assembly candidates, receipt of which has been duly acknowledged by INEC. As part of the electoral timetable, INEC will soon publish the names of candidates sponsored by political parties. Should the Commission publish names other than those validly and legally submitted by us, we urge our members, supporters, and teeming Nigerians who are eagerly waiting for the candidature of President Jonathan and other candidates of our party not to despair. We are exhausting every constitutional, legal, and democratic avenue to ensure that our party is not hijacked or annexed to the ruling political party, Any responsible electoral management body confronted with the situation where the PDP is, with conflicting judicial pronouncements and a pending appeal before the Court of Appeal, would exercise restraint pending the final determination of issues. Such caution would protect both the integrity of the electoral process and the rights of all parties. We sincerely hope that INEC, under the leadership of Professor Joash Amupita, will adopt this prudent course.
The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is advocating a collaboration between the federal regulatory agencies and institutions in the energy sector with state governments to enhance the country's transition to cleaner energy. Governor Sanwo-Olu made the appeal while inaugurating Nigeria's first integrated energy hub developed by Ibele Oil and Gas Corporation in Oshodi, Lagos. He describes the facility as a great achievement in the quest for sustainable mobility and energy security, which also demonstrates practical implementation of the federal government's energy transition agenda.
It's not just a commissioning that we're doing a fuel station or something. No, it's actually a repository of our targeted effect and initiative in energy transition. We've all been talking about energy for all, energy equalization, energy transition. This hub, I imagine, will create that. And so Lagos State is deliberately preparing the future of mobility, the future of real energy, and also economic development, because we know that we're the hub of the country. That's why we'll make this investment. That's why we want to show leadership. We want to take this as a first step for everybody to see that we can have under a roof everything that has to do with energy transition. And when we finish this speech and we go out, you will see that indeed it's a place that we all need to be truly, truly proud of. And as a government around the world, they respond to different changes. You know, we've seen that, we've all talked about it, cleaner energy, more efficient energy solutions. But as leaders, our responsibility is not just to say it, it's for us to action it. It's for us to be able to anticipate those changes and ensure that our citizens can truly, really benefit from those changes. And so this initiative seeks to unlock the value of Nigeria's abundant gas resources. It's expected to expand our alternative fuel infrastructure and to promote electric mobility. So Mr. President has done his own bit. He has created that enabling environment. He has created that leadership and ensuring. So it's really for all of the agencies under the various ministries and departments to take the bold step and be able to make it happen. and replicate it in almost every part of the country.
The Nigerian Auctioneers Association has defended the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's e-auction platform as a transparent and accountable system for disposing forfeited assets. President of the association, Mr. Musa Kura, insists the electronic bidding reduces human error and stops unfair practices in the disposal of forfeited assets. He says NAA members have been actively involved in the auction process nationwide, and that where operational challenges were identified during the initial stages, the association engaged constructively with the EFCC and provided professional recommendations.
NAA acknowledges and commends the EFCC leadership under Barrister Kayode Olukoyede for its consistent efforts in conducting public auctions in a transparent, accountable, and digitalized manner through the e-auction platform. This process was designed to eliminate sharp practices, broaden participation, and ensure value for money in the disposal of forfeited assets. In line with our statutory mandate, NAA members have been duly involved in the conduct of these auctions across the country, where certain operational challenges were observed in the initial phases. NAA, in collaboration with the EFCC, engaged constructively and proffered professional recommendations. We are pleased to note that the necessary remedies have since been implemented by the Commission to strengthen the process.
The federal government is seeking stronger collaboration with governors and other stakeholders in the southeast to address insecurity and sustain peace across the region. The Minister of Defense, retired Major General Chris Musa, made the appeal at the maiden Southeast Regional Security Summit in Umuahia, organized by the Federal Ministry of Defense in collaboration with the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement, Southeast. He says the Southeast is a region with immense economic potential that cannot be ignored. Security chiefs, government officials, traditional rulers, lawmakers and other stakeholders gather in Umuahia, Abia State, for the maiden Southeast Regional Security Summit to discuss collaborative solutions to the region's security challenges. In his opening remarks, convener of the summit, the Minister of Defense, retired General Christopher Musa, says the government remains committed to protecting lives and property through sustained investment in security.
The theme of this summit's collaborative approaches to strengthening security and regional stability is both timely and profound. It recognizes that the security challenges of our time have become increasingly complex, dynamic, and interconnected. Lasting security can only be achieved through collaboration, mutual trust, information sharing, strategic partnership, and the active participation of communities. In a short form, what we need is, we want to hear from you. What are the issues on ground?
One of these special guests is the Abia State Governor, Alex Oti, who reiterates that insecurity remains a major obstacle to development, stressing that lasting progress can only thrive in a peaceful and secure environment.
In Abia, we understand the importance of collaboration, especially on matters of security. Working closely with sister states and brother governors, we are foundational to the restoration of peace and normalcy in several communities that were hitherto under the control of criminal elements a few years ago.
Representing the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Army, Abdulaziz Musa Yaradua, reaffirms the National Assembly's commitment to strengthen Nigeria's security architecture.
Security, therefore, must no longer be viewed solely through the prism of military deployment or law enforcement operations. Experience across the world teaches us that lasting peace rests upon a broader architecture, one that combines effective security operations with economic opportunity, social justice, community participation, intelligence sharing, and responsive governance.
Meanwhile, the Southeast governors pledged to deepen collaboration with security agencies, traditional institutions and local communities to improve security across the region.
Why are we not able to share assets? Why will every state in Southeast invest their own drones? Why can states who are next to each other not invest in drones together? Because that way they can work together. Why are we not able to increase intelligence sharing between them? And for those of us who will know and who do know, we need investment in the police. Every police cell is an instrument of constructive duress.
Stronger collaborations and intelligence sharing seems to be the biggest takeaways from this summit. Participants express optimism that this will enhance security operations and promote lasting peace across the Southeast. More security matters. The Federal Capital Territory Police Commander has announced the busting of a syndicate responsible for an unauthorized issuance of official number plates to suspected criminals within the nation's capital. Addressing a news conference in Abuja while parading the suspects and others arrested for various crimes, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Ahmed Mohamed Sanusi, says the command will continue to clamp down on all unauthorized users of official number plates and their manufacturers.
Upon my assumption of duty as the Commissioner of Police FCT Command, my attention was drawn to the proliferation and unauthorized use of diplomatic and official government license plate numbers by unauthorized individuals. I immediately ordered a comprehensive investigation into this disturbing trend, which revealed that these individuals use such plate numbers as a cover to perpetrate crimes within the Federal Capital Territory and evade detection and arrest. Our investigation uncovered not only the unauthorized users of these license plate numbers, but also the production and supply chain through which they were obtained. Before you are the license plate numbers and diplomatic license plate numbers confiscated across various areas of the FCT. The suspects from whom these plate numbers were recovered are currently in custody and will be charged to court upon the conclusion of investigation. However, a few such vehicles are displayed over there for your observation. I want to assure all residents of the Federal Capital Territory that we at the FCT Police Command will not rest until crime and criminality is reduced to the barest minimum.
When we return on the news at 5 to business news, federal government to phase out power sector subsidy from 2027. Details soon. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Police in Yobe State have arrested 407 suspects for alleged to have committed various offences in the first 6 months of 2026. The State Police Commissioner, Usman Kanfani Jibrin, says some suspects were apprehended following diligent investigations. He disclosed this while briefing journalists on the midterm achievements and parading some of the suspects arrested in the state. He said the police secured the convictions in 152 cases, with 42 resulting in acquittal. 127 cases are currently before the courts.
From January to June 2026, the command recorded a total of 407 criminal cases, comprising 31 murder cases, 35 rape cases, 8 kidnapping cases, 11 armed robbery cases, and 322 other offenses. During the same period, 448 suspects were arrested for various criminal offenses. Through diligent investigation and prosecution, 152 cases secured convictions. 42 cases resulted in acquittal. 127 cases are currently before the courts. 69 cases remain pending, while 17 case files are awaiting legal advice with the DPP. These achievements demonstrate our determination not only to arrest offenders, but also to ensure that they are brought to justice through diligent investigation and prosecution.
The Edo State government is intensifying its crackdown on illegal revenue collection with the arrest of 2 suspected illegal ticket collectors at the Uwelu Spare Parts Market in Ego local government area. The station officer of the state's task force, John Bull Rufus, confirmed that the arrest followed complaints from traders and customers who alleged that they were being forced to pay unauthorized levies to individuals operating illegally despite the state government's ban on such activities. The Edo State Task Force says the operation is part of ongoing efforts to eliminate extortion, protect legitimate businesses, and ensure that only government-approved revenue collection processes are enforced.
The complaint from Uwelu Market came yesterday, and today some of the suspects have been arrested, which you are seeing here. The complaint is this: there are some persons at Uwelu Market, they still go out extorting money from innocent citizens. As a car owner, you go to Uwelu Market to fix your car or to get a vehicle part to fix your vehicle. Once you are done, you see someone from nowhere come to your vehicle and say you must pay for parking in a particular place. And there is no sign to say park and pay. And at the end, they will start bringing out tickets, which to me and you already know that ticket is illegal, without any form of backing. The governor of Edo State has already said no more ticketing. Other any guys, there's no ticketing. So, but these guys, they are still out there extorting innocent citizens. Are they now saying the people should not go to Uwelu Market to fix their vehicles or get a vehicle pass to fix their vehicles? So that's why they were arrested this morning, and you are seeing them here. The ban on ticketing by the Edo State government remains intact, and the Edo State Task Force will go all the way to enforce this ban. So if there's anybody still out there engaging in illegal collection of revenue out there, Edo State Task Force will come for you. So if I were in their shoes, I would just leave that place, go home, look for something legitimate to do with my time.
The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has called for more assistance to give Almajiris and out-of-school children formal education. She made the call while welcoming the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Ambassador Yusuf Mohammed Al-Balawi, to the State House in Abuja. Mrs. Tinubu said the collaboration will help integrate Islamic teachings with formal Western education aimed at protecting the future of this group of children.
I want to really help them. My heart goes out to them. I believe they need better care. Introduce them back to formal education, because all they have is just Islamic education and lack of food and lack of care. So if we're able to do that, I think, the future of Nigeria will be more secured. So I know, you are talking about trade relations and a lot of things we share. You are oil producing, we are oil producing, and we can learn from both countries. But for me, as a spouse here, is to give supportive and complementary role to the government and make sure that the government can also have smooth sailing, to run the nation. So that is where I come in, and that is my appeal to you.
Business news: the federal government says it will begin the gradual phase out of electricity subsidy payments from 2027 as part of efforts to improve the long-term sustainability of the country's electricity market. Speaking during a media session, Minister of Power Joseph Tegbe says the subsidy removal will be implemented gradually to ensure Nigerians continue to enjoy existing benefits throughout the transition. Mr. Tegbe also dismisses speculation about an imminent electricity tariff hike, stating that the government has no plans to increase tariffs in the near term. The minister says the phased approach is designed to balance fiscal sustainability with consumer protection while supporting ongoing reforms in Nigeria's electricity industry. And the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Professor Taiwo Oyedele, has been speaking on poverty in Nigeria, responding to issues raised by the World Bank at the just concluded 7th Emerging Markets Forum. The minister notes that while income levels in real term has dropped following economic reforms, it's a reset to the path of inclusive and sustainable growth, and the government has re-strategized to accelerate this.
We will measure the number of Nigerians who live in multidimensional poverty, because that tells us not just about income, it tells us about access to basic needs. Number two, we will measure the increase in per capita real income growth. Number three, we will measure the inequality by Gini coefficients. The combined measurement of those three metrics will tell us whether our growth is inclusive, whether we are lifting people out of poverty, or whether this is prosperity for just a few. Our intention is to make it prosperity for all Nigerians. Unemployment rate officially is about 5%, but we say to ourselves, you need to interpret data correctly so you can make the right policy decisions. If you have unemployment rate at 5% and you have poverty at close to 70%, then it doesn't add up. It means you have a lot of working poor. So you don't just need to create jobs, you create decent jobs. What the data we have seen is telling us is that the place where we have most of our people, over 80% of Nigerians, work in agri sector, they work in retail services. The growth in those places where most of our people work is too slow, barely keeping up with population increase. So our focus now is how can you accelerate growth where you have most of your people in employment so that they can also be productivity growth as well.
The Kirikiri Lighter Terminal Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has recorded a 35% increase in its revenue generation for June 2026. Speaking on this achievement, the acting controller of the command, Bolaji Adigun, explains that the command remains committed to its statutory responsibilities of revenue generation, trade facilitation and enforcement. That's it on the news at 5. Thank you for watching. I'm Joker Rogers.